having the right mindset is really, really, really important for, especially for children as well. I think that teaching children to manage their own emotions is a very difficult job that parents have a lot of the time, because parents have problems managing their own emotions. So naturally, as everybody does. So teaching children how to do it is even more complicated, or helping them to, well, what I try to do is help my children to realize that nothing is going to work until we change everything. Yeah. A lot of the times they want to agree, but they're fighting with each other, and it's like, "Oh, it's not going to work." It's never going to work. There's no solution. That road doesn't have any positive end to it at all. It's just problem after problem after problem. And you have to change your thinking in order to solve problems a lot of the time. And you have to want to solve the problem as well, which is really hard to communicate to children, because the children all want different things, usually at the same time. So it's the beauty of sport, where every game has an aim. Every game has an aim, it has a point. And all of the players focus on that particular point. And then they can work together. And they can have different roles and different functions within their teams, but essentially they're working together as a team to achieve a certain goal or a certain aim. And it's bringing that, well, which we know in business as teamwork, it's bringing that into the family, so that teamwork is a part of what happens within the family. Which means at times allowing children to make decisions. And it means at times allowing children to make decisions for us. From the perspective that all adults have prejudice. We have positive and negative feelings that are not rational, that are irrational. Maybe we don't like Real Madrid football team, right? That's an irrational thing. Yeah. Maybe we don't like red t-shirts. It's an irrational thing. Maybe we don't like Audi cars. Maybe we don't like, I don't know, pear trees. I don't know, whatever, just trees. A lot of these things are irrational. They're based on unusual life experiences that we have. And children don't have these irrational motivations, prejudice, fears. Sometimes they don't have these. And so if we understand that, sometimes you can get a better answer from a child than you can from an adult. At least a more truthful answer. And that is why it's very, very good to include children in the conversation about where do we go, what do we do, and why do we do it? So that there's always that non-prejudice voice in the conversation. Now, a lot of the time, children don't understand why they like what they like, and it needs to be explained to them. But at the same time, that's a kind of freedom that adults don't have, because adults have that prejudice. So I will very often, when I'm with my children, ask them what they think is best. I will tell them what I think is best, and I'll tell them why. And then I will ask them what they think is best and ask them why. Agreement can only exist where there's a common aim. So where there's a common aim, you can expect an agreement. But where there's not a common aim, you will never have an agreement. If your goals are different, there will never be agreement. You see that in companies, right? Some people have this goal over here, and some people have this goal over here. The goals are not the same. Because the goals are not the same, there will therefore naturally not be any agreement, really, ever, because people are traveling in different directions. So there will be some times with the children where they're not on the same page and they all want different things and they'll never agree. And then you have to introduce something else that they can all agree on so that you can bring them together, and then later they can go off and do their own thing. So it's what do they call it? Common purpose. Which is one of the it's one of the principles of communism, actually. It's a good thing gone bad, where everybody needs to be united on a common purpose, which a lot of the time is the freedom to do your own thing and have fun. But in order to get to that point, you've got to do something together. Like we've all got to get to the car. We've all got to get in the car, right? That's a common purpose. Or we've all got to eat something. That's a common purpose, and that brings people together. So that's one way of trying to solve the problem. But children understand things very quickly. Like I was talking with my daughter about negotiation at the weekend. So if I remember correctly, the conversation, my daughter said, "Can we do whatever we want?" And I said, "Not here, because here we have a system, and our system is called negotiation." And negotiation, and I asked my daughter, "Do you know what negotiation is?" She said, "No, I don't know." I said, "Okay. Negotiation is when you tell me what you would like, and I tell you what I would like, and we talk and find a way for you to get what you would like and me to get what I would like as well. So it's win-win." And so we negotiate with each other to get a win-win situation where you get something and I get something and we both get happy. And she said, that's negotiation. I said, "Yes, that's negotiation. That's how that's how we solve problems, and that's how we work. That's how we live. We negotiate with each other." And that's it. It's a 30-second conversation to explain a very simple principle. So you want to watch this cartoon, and I want you to go to bed. So we can't do both of these things at the same time. They're different. One of these things you would like, and one of these things I would like. So we make a deal, you and me, where you can watch the cartoon or a percentage of the cartoon or a part of the cartoon, but then you have to go to bed. I will give you something, and in return, you will do for me what I ask you to do. That's negotiation. And that seems like a fair way to organize things. I don't like, and you compare it with other things. You can say we use negotiation. We don't use dictatorship. Dictatorship is, I tell you what to do and you do it. That's dictatorship. We don't do that here. We don't do that with Dad. We don't do that, right? There are things that I would like you to do, but you are always free to say no and tell me why, and we can negotiate, and I will accept that. If it's reasonable and sensible, I will accept it. If you tell me, "Dad, I want to jump out of the window," I'll be like, No, that's not reasonable. That's really silly. You hurt yourself for no reason. Yeah. So some experiments are dangerous. We have to be careful. So, that is negotiation. Maybe one day you do what I would like, and maybe next day I let you do what you would like. There's limits on everything, of course.
Mm.
But how are children going to learn to communicate if they don't negotiate? There's no way. There's no way to learn to communicate properly if you don't learn to negotiate. And then as children get older, you bring in other concepts like leverage, right?
Mm.
What have you got that you can use to get something more? Now, that might be anything. It might be that you have money. It might be that you have skills. It might be that you have resources. Here's a crazy one. For a girl, it might be that you're pretty. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, you can lever. For a guy, it might be that you're handsome. Yeah, you can leverage these skills in different places to get different things. And that is another kind of negotiation where that's what a lot of work is in life. It's, I do a job and you give me money, and there's this negotiation about how much money a person should get and what jobs and tasks a person should do. Everything should be open to some level of negotiation. If you can't negotiate, then eventually you get frustrated and unhappy. That's what that means. If you can't negotiate, eventually you get frustrated and unhappy. And we've all been in situations where there's no ability to negotiate, and so we change. We change our relationships, we change our job, we change where we live, whatever. We change something because there's no way to progress. If you can't negotiate, there's no progression. In general, there will be a few situations where everybody follows what one person says. There'll be a few situations like that in life as well, but you'll always find negotiation under the surface of everything. It's always there. And then you learn what another person wants, learn what another person needs, learn what another person likes. Donkeys like carrots, right? Donkeys like carrots, Put a carrot in front of the donkey and the donkey will move. Well, guess what? We're all donkeys, right? We're all donkeys. And each of us has a carrot. Each of us has a carrot. It's business, right? We're all donkeys. Each of us has a carrot. You have to learn what his carrot is and what her carrot is and what they like and what their interests are. And then you can negotiate better. The more information you have, the better you can negotiate. So it, and it starts with children when they're very young. And it really starts when they're babies, when they scream because they're hungry. And when they scream, they get food. And why do they scream? Because they get attention and they get food. And that's their negotiation skill. They stop screaming when they get their food, right? They get what they want, food. You get what you want, peace and quiet. Everybody is happy. And babies are very good negotiators. They get what they want a lot of the time. So yay for babies and their rather excellent negotiation skills. Okay, there we go.